and welcome to the handover of the Elddis Avante 554 2021. So we'll start at the toilet area. This compartment here is where your toilet flush goes. In here you would put, I would say, about a litre of water at a time with some pink rinse. Every time you flush the toilet, the water will go into the cassette and flush through your toilet. I only recommend about a litre at a time. You don't want to be leaving it in over winter, and it's very easy to refill once you go to flush the toilet, nothing comes out, you need to know you need to refill it. The toilet cassette goes in here. Take the cassette out, you just lift this to here, a little click, comes out, slides out. Got a handle to take your wee for a walk. This slides out back, turn this lever, allows you to wash through most toilet places you go. They've got a little hose that you can put in there to swirl everything around. You don't want to get too heavy-handed with it because it's used a kind of float in valve in there that tells you when your toilet needs emptying. On the cassette inside it lights up to let you know it needs to be emptied. Invariably it will come on just before you go to bed, but you'll have 2 or 3 more goes before it does overflow. Okay, so when you get to the area to empty your toilet cassette, you undo this here, tip it, and if you push this button at the same time it produces air and it pours out nicely. It goes back on, and you put your blue rinse inside the cassette. Slides back in, and you can lock it to stop anyone pinching your weight. These are where you put your waste master. This is all your wastewater for your sinks and shower. Front one is, this one here is for your kitchen, that one's for your bathroom. 2 vents for the fridge. Top one's the freezer, the bottom one's the fridge. In here is where your leisure battery goes. Also mains connection when you go to a site. And you've also, on this model, we've fitted a motor mover. Your on-off switch for the motor mover is there. There is a separate video to show you how the operation of the motor mover. We always put the switch by the cable. It means you can't switch it on if it is attached to mains power, so you're not driving off. Connected to the 240 volts. In here, 25-meter cable, water pump and leg brace and wheel brace. So if I grab the water pump, okay, so in this front gas locker area you've got room for the 2 gas bottles and the regulator on top there. On the A-frame you'll see something called ATC. This is the Alco trailer control. What it is, there's an actual sensor on the chassis. If you drive along and the caravan starts to snake, this will electronically brake for you. So you may notice you go over a speed bump too fast, around a corner too fast, you'll feel that the brakes come on. If you keep driving, away it goes. Hopefully you'll never experience it, but it's there just in case. The handbrake works just by push and release back up. There's no button to press. And the Alco hitch we run through on handover to show you how that all operates. We also fit external barbecue point. This isn't standard on the Avante range, but we always have them fitted as an external locker. Actually, if I just show you how the key operates, there's no buttons or anything. You just put the key in, turn it 180 degrees, and you use the key as a lever to open the door. Sometimes you get a bit of an airlock and it sticks. We also put a 240 volt socket here with a cutout there, so you can actually have power in your awning externally, but it also gives you that extra storage underneath the front seats. TV aerial, awning light, vents for the microwave, door catch, and again extra storage on this model. For underneath the bed. Lots of storage space there. Okay, so we'll go into the caravan. That's the leg brace for the motor mover. Right, I've got the radio on, so to turn the radio off, which is there, you just push and hold the SRC button, it turns itself off. This is iPhone compatible for iPhones and Android, so you can play the music through it. It's also auxiliary connection and USB if you want to play your music through the stereo system. Right, this is the controls for the actual caravan. This button here is just master switch. If I was to switch that off, the power of everything would go off. This one here, there's your internal lights. This one here, there's your awning light. Okay, so when you arrive on site, the first thing you switch on is this light switch. The last thing you switch off when you leave is that master switch. Okay, right. Push this button here, it wakes up your control panel. As you can hear, the heating is on. And anything green tells you that the system's in operation. So if I push you can see that it's on 3 kilowatt, it's drawing 13 amps, and the heating's set to 22 degrees. So if I turn it to 500 watt, then it will still run for a minute or so till it gets down. So it will then just trickle this low speed, so it virtually can't hear it at night, so the heating's then on. So you've got 500 watt, 2 kilowatt or 3 kilowatt. You can also operate the heating on gas as well as, so if you would push the gas flame, then it would use the gas as well. I haven't got any gas connected, so that won't work. The next one here is just the fan. So if we do get a nice hot summer and you want to circulate air, you would just push the fan button and that would just blow air throughout the caravan. It's not cooled, it will just draw the heat from what's outside through your van. And if you want to turn the heating off, you just push the off button. You have got a nighttime setting, so if I push, so from nighttime you can go into the menu, it automatically turns the heating down to 12 degrees. And the snowflake is, if it's frosty outside and you don't want to ruin any of the elements, you push the snowflake and it will get everything up to temperature before it starts circulating the heat. To go back to the home page, you just push this square button and it's gone back to home. The next one is the hot water. You see it's blue, so it's not switched on, but if I push, you can see it's off. Then push, again, you've got 3 settings: Eco, 2 kilowatt, or Snowflake. Eco is what you're going to use if ever you're just doing an odd bit of washing up or washing in the morning, just helps on the electric. 3 kilowatt is if you're going to be using a lot of water. The timed boost, well, turn your heating off and put all the power to the hot water tank. That's if you both want to use the shower in the morning. You push that, and for 15 minutes it puts all your power to your booster. I'll switch that off. So if I just push Eco, go back to the home page again. Oop. You'll see that the heating is now green. It tells you it's on. So here is the controls for the heating. To open the control panel from its sleep mode, you just push the rectangle button there. Anything green tells you it's actually switched on and operating. So the 3 arrows is for the heating. I just push that as a touch screen. You can see it's on number 3, so full blast. And it's been set to go up to 35 degrees. To change the temperature, you just push the plus or minus and obviously it adjusts it down. So now the van will heat at 21 degrees. When it reaches that temperature, it will switch off. You'd have that on full blast when you arrive on site. Once you get to temperature, then you don't need it blasting away. But if you just turn it to number 1, it will run for a few minutes. But you can see the amps that it's drawing. So if it's on 3.3 amps, it will trickle the heating over lovely. So if you had it on number 3 with 13 amps, then put your kettle on, it may trip out the mast that you're plugged into. You could also run it on gas, either individually or gas and electric. We're not connected to gas, but if we were, then the heating would now run on gas and electric. The fan symbol, that's for just circulating air around the caravan. So we may not, if we get a summer and you want to circulate some air, you just push the fan, it blows the fan around without any heating. Nighttime settings, if you press that, you see the temperature automatically change to 12. So from 10 at night till 6 in the morning, whatever you set it, it will automatically turn the heating down. The snowflake is frost. So if you're on a site and it's particularly frosty outside, you don't want to turn it on full blast, it might damage the elements. So if you push the snowflake, it will run for a little while before the actual heater cuts in. And to go back to the home page, press the rectangle again. The next one is the hot water, push that. You see it's switched off at the moment. The eco symbol, that's for if you're going to leave the site on your drive and not use it for a couple of weeks, that just trickles the water through, so it helps it keep it clean. Snowflake again, if it's a frosty day, stop any damage happening to the elements. So if I push the 2, the heating is now on. Go back to the home button, you'll see it's turned green to tell you that the hot water is on. But I'll switch that off because we're not connected to water. And a timed boost, so you want to use one or two of you want to use a shower in the morning for 50 minutes, it puts all the power to the hot water tank. Okay, and again, if you want to operate on gas, push the home button, it goes back to the main menu. This symbol here, when the pump's connected, turns your pump on and off. So we're not connected, I just turn that off. And that's your clock. So it's saying 2 o'clock in the morning. Right. That's your voltage of your battery. We're on main, so it's showing 13.6 volts. Now, if I push and hold this rectangle, it comes in with some other menus. You really shouldn't have to use this, and we don't really run through it now. You need your manual because there's quite a lot of different options that you can go through, as you can see. If I go back, push and hold, set clock. So at the moment it's showing 2 o'clock, so let's put it at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Push the menu. You'll see that the timer has now changed. These 2 buttons here, sometimes you will get the message come up that the water heater is not talking to the control panel or the heating, because it all works via Bluetooth. Have you got the symbol to push and hold the button? There are these 2 buttons. Again, it's all in your manual. Okay. All these lights are individual. I'll show you that one. They've got the little switches there to turn on and off. You've got your fly screen and your night blinds as well. All the windows have got your stays. You push it open wherever you want it to be, you just tighten it by turning this. And once again. You've also got a light up here, an individual light switch. That's your table for your breakfast or tea in the morning. And to close it down, you just lift the back. Pull the handle further out and it slides in. To turn this into a double bed, you pull this handle here, slats come out, drop the cushions either side to turn it into a bed. And under here as your fuses and your trips. All self-explanatory, that it's all marked up to let you know what's what. A nice little tip, if ever you're in your caravan and suddenly the electric trips, if you push this button here, if you push it and this trips down, you know you've got power coming into the caravan. If you push this and that stays up, you know it's the mast outside that needs resetting. Okay, also under here, that little yellow box, sometimes the pump may need a recalibration. Again, there's a piece of information in your pack that you get given. You'd have to push the little button there, open the taps, then come back and reset the button, and it recalibrates your water system. If you remember to drain down properly, you may never have to do it, so fingers crossed. Okay. In here is your drain down valve for the hot water tank that's actually underneath the caravan. So turn that and you'll hear the water dripping out. I'll open it back up. This one's been left open because of the frost we're having at the moment. To operate your fridge, push and hold the on off button. Beep is now on. This is on gas, but if I put it onto mains, push the gas flame and it will operate the fridge on gas. You should hear a click, click, click in. You may not pick it up on the phone, but it's now trying to self-ignite, but again, we're not connected to gas. The battery symbol, that's when you're connected to the vehicle. So if your fridge is cold before you leave, it will keep the fridge cold. It won't chill your fridge if you haven't plugged it in beforehand. But if it does, it will keep your fridge cold by using your battery on the vehicle, not the caravan battery. To adjust the temperature, you just push the thermostat. 5 bars will probably freeze your lettuce at the bottom of the fridge, so I always put it on number 4. The freezer box does come out if you haven't got any freezer food. If you look underneath, there's a couple of clips. Undo those clips and the freezer compartment can pull out. Then when you're not using the fridge, if you push this little button to slide forward, see that comes out when you shut the fridge. It leaves a gap for it to stop there. It build up and mildew and stuff. And then when you are used, just push it back in. Fridge closes into place. Your oven, 3 gas, 1 electric. This lid does need to be lifted all the way back, or else the gas may not come on. It's got to cut out for safety reasons. You've got ignition. All the controls for the grill, hob and oven, and grill pan. Your actual grill pan now has been designed so it can be used as an additional shelf. I'll leave that there. And you've got all the gas connections underneath here and a plug, the ignition and electric hob. Okay. These are new, or for last year. So to operate these, this handle does move, so you pull down and slide, and wherever you stop, the roof vent stays in that position. And then when you're traveling, make sure those clips are in place. Microwave, conventional domestic microwave. If you're not using it, you can switch the switch off there. That turns your microwave off. But do be aware not to travel with a microwave plate. They have been known to drop out. Okay, your bed on struts that stay up. And when you do make the bed, this frame does pull out, but as you can see, it's got a clip there to stop it. It's brand new. Once you take delivery, just cut that and it slides out. Another roof vent, lights with additional light switches. With the toilet, that's the symbol that lights up when the toilet needs emptying. So, do your business, flush the loo, open the lever, drop it into the cassette below. And you've got your shower and sink. Hopefully that's good information for you. For the 2021 Elddis Avante 554. Thank you very much. And welcome to the handover of the Elddis Avante 554 2021. So we'll start at the toilet area. This compartment here is where your toilet flush goes. In here you would put, I would say, about a litre of water at a time with some pink rinse. Every time you flush the toilet, the water will go into the cassette and flush through your toilet. I only recommend about a litre at a time. You don't want to be leaving it in over winter, and it's very easy to refill once you go to flush the toilet, nothing comes out, you need to know you need to refill it. The toilet cassette goes in here. To take the cassette out, you just lift this to a little clip, comes out, slides out. Got a handle to take your wee for a walk. This slides out back, turn this lever, allows you to wash through most toilet places you go. They've got a little hose that you can put in there to swirl everything around. You don't want to get too heavy-handed with it because there is, let's use a kind of float in valve in there that tells you when your toilet needs emptying. On the cassette inside, it lights up to let you know it needs to be emptied. Invariably it will come on just before you go to bed, but you'll have 2 or 3 more goes before it does overflow. Okay, so when you get to the area to empty your toilet cassette, you undo this here, tip it, and if you push this button at the same time, it produces air and it pours out nicely. It goes back on, and you put your blue rinse inside the cassette. Slides back in, and you can lock it to stop anyone pinching your weight. These are where you put your waste master. This is all your wastewater for your sinks and shower. Front one is, this one here is for your kitchen, that one's for your bathroom. 2 vents for the fridge. The top one's a freezer, the bottom one's a fridge. In here is where your leisure battery goes. Also mains connection when you go to a site. And you've also, on this model, we've fitted a motor mover. Your on-off switch for the motor mover is there. There is a separate video to show you how the operation of the motor mover. We always put the switch by the cable. It means you can't switch it on if it is attached to mains power, so you're not driving off. Connected to the 240 volts. In here, 25-meter cable, water pump, and leg brace and wheel brace. So if I grab the water pump, watch my dodgy camera work. This slides up. The water pump then connects, and you just slide it back down and locks it into place. And when you go to refill your Aquarol, there's a little cut out there for the pump to stop it dropping onto the ground. Okay.